New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Well, good evening to one and all across the nation and also around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and yes, guaranteed, always exciting edition of the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Pastor Michael Mangus, and I am broadcasting from the super secret radio room surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts in the extremely secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret. It requires such a high level of security to get near that only one person, and that is my producer, Diego Reyes. Only he knows where the top secret concrete bunker is located. No one else knows where the concrete bunker is located, especially our Chief Inspirational Officer, the Reverend Robert Brzezinski. He's tried to get it out of me, but we are going to keep the location of the super secret concrete bunker away from Reverend Robert. Okay? Well, hi there. Welcome. We have a wonderful show for you this evening. Please feel free to interact with us by posting on Facebook. We are recording this early because yours truly has some weddings to attend to this weekend. But please post your comments on Facebook. For all my shy people out there, if you could, do me a big favor. Contact me by email. And that's pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. So the purpose of our Fireside Chat weekly here on your New Thought Media Network, we comment and talk about spiritual things in the world. And we talk about the news and other events from a spiritual perspective. And again, the views and opinions expressed are those of my own. not those of New Thought Media Network. Our guest this evening, the Reverend John Miller, my producer, Diego Reyes, or Winston, the Wonder Pig. All of those people sometimes do not agree with me. But again, I want us all to have a new thought about what is going on in the world today. So our special guest for the second half of our program, longtime friend, colleague, my wedding trainer, the Reverend John Miller. John has been our musician at Summit Center for Spiritual Living for well over 20 years. And I know that you will enjoy his original music this evening. Minister, musician, natural health expert, and also staff theologian at Summit Center for Spiritual Living, John Miller. He'll be with us here in just a few moments. A shout out this evening to the Reverend Rochelle McCreary and her class on manifesting more money that was held last night. We had well over 50 people in the class, and let me tell you something, it was outstanding. You still have time to register, though, and yes, I know for my East Coast people, it is pretty late at night, 9:30 to 11:30. However, let me tell you something, it is worth it. Diego, do you have the slide for that? If you register now through New Thought Media Network, we will receive 50% of your class tuition as a donation. This is not your usual prosperity class. Reverend Rochelle focuses specifically on our relationship with money. We can't find it, so the slide, but it's a great class. There it is. So for the special link from New Thought Media Network, send us an email to info@newthoughtmedianetwork.org. We will then get you registered for next week's class. Your investment should be $300 to $400, but it's not. It is only not $300, not $200, but it's only $149. It really is a wonderful class. And again, it does benefit New Thought Media Network. So again, if you go to info@ntmedia.org, we'll get you more information. Great class, though. Personally had a lot of insights from it last night. And I know that, again, if you take it, again, that it really will heal your relationship with money. So in the news here from CNN, President Joe Biden delivered his sharpest rebuke yet of a Republican during the speech in Philadelphia on Thursday, warning that former President Donald Trump and his closest followers are trying to undermine American democracy. And he said, "As I stand here tonight, equality and democracy are under assault," Biden said in his address, just months ahead of the midterm elections that will determine the control of the Congress. Biden attempted to separate Trump's most loyal MAGA followers from the Republican Party as a whole, and also sought to conclude on a more upbeat note, urging that it is still within the voters' power to rein in Trump's staunchest supporters. And this comes as Biden's recent aggressive rhetoric has drawn the ire of Republicans, particularly after he accused Trump loyalists of semi-fascism at a fundraiser last week. Also in the national news here, former President Trump says that he will very, very seriously consider full pardons for the rioters who breached the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, 2021, if he runs for re-election and wins. If I decide to run and if I win, I will be looking very, very strongly about pardons, full pardons, Trump said on the Wendy Bell radio program on Thursday. Trump also made a similar promise during his final days in office when some of the January 6th rioters were already in jail. None, however, were pardoned before he left office. Trump's comments come amid intense speculation about a potential 2024 presidential run and his continued invocation of the Capitol attack could prevent a central part of, or preview a central part of his future political messaging. So please pray for the United States, especially for peace and justice. And again, I ask this question. Does your spiritual beliefs of love, light, peace, power, beauty, and joy line up with your political beliefs? If not, I'm asking you, what is more important? Whom do you worship? God or man? And that's something to think about as we approach the midterm elections here in November. So most importantly, are you registered to vote, and will you go vote? Elections have consequences. The current Supreme Court that overturned Roe v. Wade and also has upheld gun rights were the result of presidential elections. And as one local pastor said at Jalen Walker's funeral a few weeks ago, if we don't like what's going on in our communities, states, and also in the nation, vote those politicians out and replace them. And sometimes it's just that simple. Well, hi there, welcome. This is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Pastor Michael Mangus with you this evening. Also, in other news this evening, the California legislature passed around a dozen bills this week protecting or expanding abortion access in the state as its Democratic leaders seek to make California a safe haven for reproductive freedom. The legislation now goes to the Democratic governor, Gavin Newsom, who has been supportive of abortion rights, for his signature. Meanwhile, nearly 1/3 of all U.S. states have banned or severely restrict abortion after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June, including Ohio. At least 7 states, including Alabama, Kentucky, and Missouri, have banned abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest. Healthcare providers and abortion advocates have continued to file legal challenges to stop bans in several states from being enacted. And again, as I said before, elections have consequences here. And yours truly is one of those pastors that truly do and does support the rights for women to choose, with thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of clergy from many religious and spiritual traditions, including our Jewish friends, who say that the current legal ruling may violate their practice to their religion. And again, the debate continues. And we had to put this in because Diego's producing this evening his favorite story. He gets very upset when I don't talk about COVID-19. Well, the FDA has authorized updated COVID-19 vaccine booster shots from Moderna and also Pfizer. The new boosters combine the company's original vaccine with one that specifically targets the BA4 and BA5 Omicron subvariants. And this is the first time updated COVID-19 vaccines have received emergency use authorization in the U.S. Pfizer's updated vaccine is a 30 microgram dose authorized for people and ages 12 and older. Moderna's updated vaccine is a 50 milligram dose authorized for people 18 years of age and older. Once approved by the CDC, the updated booster shots could be administered within days to certain populations, and that includes people who may have received a booster just a few months ago. Again, my viewpoint, my opinion, I have followed the science. Yours truly has gotten all of his booster shots and intends to get the next one. And again, I ask that you seriously consider getting vaccinated. And that I was talking to another colleague a few days ago, and she reminded me that at a current or just past convention of ministers, that well over 100 of them came down with COVID-19. So again, we're not out of this yet. And so I just ask that again, that unless told by your healthcare provider, again, follow the science here. I haven't gotten like a third eye, a cyclops eye, or anything weird. Diego, have I become more weird since I've gotten Diego is saying I have. Thanks, pal, buddy, chum. Appreciate that. Anyhow, finally in the news here, unfortunately, the police killings continue. And this happened down in Columbus, Ohio, which is around 2 hours away from where we are located here in Akron. Body camera video shows a Columbus officer fatally shooting an unarmed 20-year-old black man. Police in Columbus, Ohio have released the body camera video that shows a police officer fatally shooting an unarmed black man in his bed. Donovan Lewis died on Thursday after being shot by police officer Ricky Anderson, a 30-year veteran with the Columbus Division of Police assigned to the K-9 unit, according to a police statement. Rex Elliott, who's an attorney for the Lewis family, said at the news conference on Thursday morning that there was no justification for the officer to shoot. Elliott, the family's attorney, called Lewis's death utterly senseless at Thursday's news conference, saying excessive deadly force was again recklessly used by Officer Anderson when he shot and killed another unarmed black man. Lewis's family has appreciated the support it has received from the community so far, Elliott has said, and they have asked that any gathering or protest remain peaceful, supportive, and constructive. The family attorney says, reality is, if we don't gather, if we don't indicate how upset this is to all of us, we are never going to see change. So in the article, they mentioned probably around 4 to 5 killings over the past couple of years in Columbus, Ohio alone. So I continue to stand with my African-American brothers and sisters in demanding police reform, not police defunding. We need to go back to that old notion of peace officers and not law enforcement. Again, the pressure needs to stay on the local, state, and federal officials for reform. And again, this man was unarmed. 19 minutes and 21 seconds, Diego. Did I do good? There's a trap door here in the super secret concrete bunker that if I go over 20 minutes on the news, that it just opens up and swallows me. And that's what happens. We go to the slide. Anyhow, let's go to some announcements and then we'll be back. We have waiting in our green room for your listening pleasure here, our music director from Summit Center for Spiritual Living, Jonathon Miller, who will perform several of his original songs. Yours truly is currently parking himself at Summit CSL. So for more information, please go to summitcsl.org. There you go. There you will find information about our wonderful Sunday gathering online at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Yes, we do have people that wake up at 7:30 in the morning on the West Coast, and they attend our service. They bring their coffee, their tea, their espresso with them. I really do believe that we have one of the best services in New Thought because we do have a balance of music, message, and also meditation. And this Sunday, we will have international author and speaker, our music director, Jonathon Miller, will be speaking. So go to summitcsl.org for more information on how to join our Zoom call. And our service is also simulcast on our Facebook page, on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page. And also our Facebook page also has past broadcasts of the world famous Fireside Chat, and also yours truly when he's doing prayer on the New Thought Media Network. We have so many wonderful programs that we are premiering this fall here on the New Thought Media Network. The programs that I'm currently producing, which is Jim Webb's program on Sunday evenings, called The Miracle of Prosperity. And also on Wednesday afternoons, another show that I produce, which is called Rockin' the Love with Robin and Gil. All kinds of wonderful programs to give you, again, spiritual food and spiritual enrichment. So if you would like our full schedule, go on ntmedia.org, and there you will find the full schedule and all the wonderful things that we're doing there. If you could also go to the place where it says donate. That's really important. And the reason being is because that as you partner with us here, that what happens is that we are able to reach more people with this powerful New Thought message. Again, church attendance is down. The reason being is because, again, a few years ago, the futurists and people who, again, noticed the trends, noticed that we would have a day like this, where again, that the spiritual, not religious, would be the majority of those individuals. 60 to 70% of individuals, again, consider themselves spiritual, not religious. Those are the people that, again, that we are interested in to reach. So again, it's not converting them, but again, it's having them say yes. Yes to a very positive spirituality that can make a big difference in their lives. So again, if you go to ntmedia.org/donate, again, give a very generous one-time gift, or you may do like I do, which is give a monthly gift. Sustaining donors really help us, again, to keep everything that we're doing on the air, and also provide much needed feed and snacks for our network mascot, Winston Churchill, the pig. Oh, we love Winston. We love Diego. So again, ntmedia.org/donate. Again, thank you so very much. All right, time for break. And then we'll be back with Summit Center for Spiritual Living Music Director, Jonathon Miller. Again, this is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical media experience, or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
And I do have a correction to make. Diego from the background says, "Oh, great, thanks." Now, everyone will think that I made you mention COVID-19. No, Diego did not make me mention about COVID-19. Okay, so that's my correction. It's really good to have on this evening a longtime friend, our music director at Summit Center for Spiritual Living, and also my wedding trainer, who's done well over 2,600 weddings, who has performed that many over the past several years. I give to you, my friend, the Reverend John Miller. John, welcome to the New Thought Media Network.
Well, thank you, Michael. I believe I've done over 40 years of weddings, probably about 45.
A lot.
Took a while.
Yeah. So people have commented. They said, "Man, you're really well trained." And I said, "Well, I tell them the story about how you got me to do weddings." Our board president at that time, Jill, went ahead and asked me to do her ceremony. And for 2 years, I had procrastinated sending into the state. And so I went ahead and I sent the paperwork into the state, and the form, the certificate, wasn't even warm out of the envelope when you called me and said, "Guess who is my backup this year?" Again, he didn't ask me, he told me. So John taught me this really interesting way of doing weddings, of which that, for going on 15 years now, that it's been absolutely wonderful. We have provided in this area professional clergy services to those couples and brides who want a minister to actually do their wedding. We in this area, again, you can go online and get ordained and call yourself an ordained minister. However, again, that John was extremely wise when he went ahead and he said, you are going to help me this season. So always appreciate that, John. I mention you a lot to my brides.
Well, that's good. I had so many weddings, I had to shuffle some off because you can't do two at the same time. It just doesn't work.
Well, you didn't teach me that yet.
Oh, well,
That by
you might
location.
find out eventually.
Okay, so when are you coming out with that training? The by location training.
On how to do two weddings at once?
Yeah.
You have to do them both online, like a call like this.
All right. So, John, you're a longtime New Thought student. So, give us a little background. How did you get involved in New
Well,
Thought?
I've been in it my whole life. My great aunt was participated in the New Thought movement in touring in vaudeville with her daughter, who played accordion and sang and traveled around the country. So she was my nanny, my governess, I guess we'll say, and so I had a very early introduction to New Thought principles and so on. And I grew up in a standard Christian denomination, but eventually I found my way into New Thought right during my college days, and then I went to Hartford Seminary, now called Hartford International University of Religion and Peace. Kind of interesting name. It's a major international seminary in Hartford, Connecticut, and continued. I studied Carl Jung and had added all the information on New Thought as I went. So I've been in it a long time. So
he has not one, but two seminary degrees, one in counseling and the other one in divinity. So I always point out to the brides that I work with, I said, the person who has shortened the scripture has been John Miller, because what you did or do within the wedding choices, the choices that we give couples, is that you went ahead and you kept the context, but you went ahead and you shortened the readings. And I think that that's because of, again, your seminary training, that you were able to do that. And I asked John, I said, John, why do we have 1 Corinthians 13 in there? Love is patient, love is kind. And John replied back, he said, because it was the most unoffensive scripture that he could find. So,
well, and most people have heard it before, it's familiar to them.
So, John, tell us about your musical career. Again, it spans probably about 40 years also.
Oh, yeah, actually 57 years, I believe it is. Started as a teenager performing. I actually, at 12 years old, I started singing in the church choir, the youth choir, and then the adult choir too, both two choirs at once. And I was in high school choir, but I formed a folk music troupe group in high school, and we were singing there. And then I went on, and eventually performed with another partner at colleges and nightclubs and all kinds of venues all around New England and here in Ohio. Continued and been doing it a long time.
So how do you, again, the music that you perform for us on Sunday mornings at Summit CSL, again, it's all original music. Once in a while you'll throw in a cover song, but mostly it's your original music. So take us through the process. How do you write a song generally?
There's a lot of different ways to do it. And I actually belonged to a songwriter group for about 20 years. And I belonged to another one when I was living in Southern Ohio. But, you can either the music will come first or the lyrics will come first. So, and sometimes you have them separate and bring them together, but it can work in various ways. But I generate a lot of tunes. I used to record them on little cassette tapes. I probably have 50 or more cassette tapes of just little ditties that run through my mind, and I hum or whistle them. And I still haven't caught up with making songs out of all those, but a good tune is a good way to start. But lyrics are interesting. I have been writing them for over 50 years, and I enjoy it. It's a nice hobby to put words together and express something.
So, John, why don't we have you sing something here?
All righty. Well, I thought I'd start with a song I use often for opening with our Summit Center Sunday morning get together, and it's called A New Start. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart for living in a better way. Working together with the skills of many hands, helping each other make the best life we can. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart for living in a better way. Life becoming better as harm and suffering cease. With kindness for each other, we live and grow in peace. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart for living in a better way. Making a new start, awareness growing here and there as we care for one another. Love flowers everywhere. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start from the heart for living in a better way. Living in a better way. Living in a better way.
Music by John Miller. Today, here on the New Thought Media Network, Pastor Michael Mangus with you on the Friday evening Fireside Chat. John is my longtime friend, and also he has done music for Summit CSL for, well over 20 years.
22
John,
years.
What now? How many years now?
22.
22. Yeah, well, you had a break there.
Oh, that's right. Well, it was just a few months, really. Yeah, just a few months.
Yeah. So what on Sunday mornings then you basically do your own music? Is there a reason for that? I mean,
well, I believe when we started doing it online, we wanted to have something that was not a violation of anybody's copyright laws, basically. So I sing my own songs.
All right. So I want to say this for all the YouTube analytics and also the logarithms and everything else. The music performed today by John Miller is his own, copyrighted by John Miller and used by permission today. Okay. So don't ban us on the platforms. Yeah. So we had a few Sundays ago, we had a guest musician do a Karen Drucker song. And we got nasty notes from Facebook saying, how dare you use a copyrighted song? And I had our young lady, Hannah, who handles our social media and our production of our Sunday morning broadcast. I said, all you need to do is write back and say used by permission. And we haven't heard back from them. And it was funny because that week I was doing something else for the New Thought Media Network. Gary Lynn Floyd was premiering a new song of his. And so I went ahead and during the production, guess who came on? Karen Drucker. And I went ahead and I said, Karen, can we use your music? And she says, of course. you have my permission to use the music. So tell us what's going on in your world today, John. I know that you have several websites. You're still interested after all
I've
these
been
years in holistic health. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been in the holistic natural health field for over 40 years, 45 years. And I evolved that through health food stores and counseling, consulting, lecturing, writing books, many different aspects of it. But ultimately, I went online back in the 90s, and now I have probably over a dozen websites, way too many, but some of them are for different information about natural health and products, and others are more about my information I'm trying to present on the world and improving ourselves and holistic wellness and well-being. And so I have blog sites. Yeswise.com is my main educational site. I have holistic learning modules there for people to learn about different aspects of what's going on in the world. And reallywell.com is my main site I've had for many, many years.
So that's yeswise.com if you want to find out more about John Miller and also about his wonderful music, of which we are trying to work on getting in the Empower Network so that more people can enjoy it at other centers. Again, we have been blessed by having John's music. And so it's really nice to be able to have him on today to share him with the world here. So, John, what is your next song?
This is one of Diana's favorites. It's a song I often do for meditation. It's called Everywhere. I gotta find the right tune here. That's the one. Still not. All right. Peace is now. Peace is here. Peace is everywhere. Floating in a sea of peace beyond all we know. Peace is growing on and on everywhere we go. Joy is now, joy is here, joy is everywhere, floating in a sea of joy beyond all we know. Joy is growing on and on everywhere we go. Love is now, love is here, love is everywhere, floating in a sea of love beyond all we know. Love is growing on and on everywhere we go.
Once again, the wonderful music of John Miller, who is the staff music director at Summit Center for Spiritual Living in Akron. If you would like to hear John on Sunday mornings, along with the regular team of people who put on our wonderful Sunday morning broadcast, it's summitcsl.org, summitcsl.org. Please join us on Zoom. There's a special secret password that you need to get into the Zoom room, but we would love to see more of you on Sunday mornings. And again, it's a great service. We try to keep it to an hour. We try to keep that Michael Mangus, we try to keep him under 20 minutes. John, haven't I shortened my sermons over the years?
They're a little shorter than they used to be. Yes, you've got them down to pretty good efficiency. Yeah.
Yeah, 35 to 40 minutes they used to be, and basically when I took my act on the road, they said, "Pastor Mangus, we need you 20 minutes or under." I went ahead and I spoke one time at a church for an ecumenical. It was right before COVID hit, back in like March of 2020. And I remember everyone saying, "Mike, keep it short." So I joked from the podium. I said, if you notice me going away here, it's because that I'm over my time and the organist has pushed the secret button to get rid of the minister. So John, again, you have 2 seminary degrees. So why didn't you go into brick and mortar ministry? What happened there?
Well, that kind of organized situation wasn't ideal for me. I did work in churches, was the youth ed director at a Unity church for a number of years, but mostly I prefer to do music, and I enjoy speaking, but the whole administration of a church and the population, I would rather work with a variety of people, I guess we'll say. And, I've found other ways of making a presence in the world to help make it better.
You mean you don't have to be a brick and mortar pastor?
No. You can be a freewheeling pastor out in the streets.
Yeah. Now, John, you didn't tell me about that. Did you go out into the streets and evangelize?
Well, I've been a wandering. I consider my music a big part of my ministry, so to speak. And I play music wherever I can, at bars, not anymore, but I have in the past, and in the streets and wherever I can, and in churches, of course.
We're talking today with musician John Miller here on the New Thought Media Network. Pastor Michael Mangus with you here on the Friday evening Fireside Chat. Yes, we are recording this early because yours truly is doing rehearsal tonight, a wedding on Saturday and a rehearsal, and on Sunday, another wedding. It's all because of you, John. I always mention your name in vain a lot. and also every time that I give a bride, it's called Wedding Choices. It's a document that John put together because of his experience. And I'm telling you that saves me hours upon hours of work. I call a minister friend of ours, who I will not name, but she said, "I'm not doing any more weddings." And I said, "Well, why not?" She says, "Because it takes me 3 hours to write a 20-minute wedding." And I said, you need Wedding Choices. I mean, you still have some editing to do, but it's not as much as if you were to go ahead and write it from scratch. So, but again, because of John's training. Oh, I have another story I wanted to tell you. So I was at doing another wedding a couple of weeks ago, and the wedding coordinator there told me that I said, well, I'll do the rehearsal. She said, oh, okay, that's nice. She says the officiants that she's been working with do not know how to do a rehearsal.
Oh my gosh.
That tells you again. And I got a whole in Holmes Institute. I got a whole 45 minutes of class time on weddings and also funerals. Yeah, our ceremonies and ritual class dealt mainly with how to put together a ritual and also the spiritual significance of that. But again, when you are doing weddings and you're doing funerals, I shared with a couple the other day about, they said, oh, you have some nice reviews. And I said, well, thank you. Because if they have a license, I marry them. Okay. So John told me this. He says, Mike, just marry them. Don't hassle them. And the other,
you got to give him a good start.
Yeah, no, and so, and I always tell the brides in our area, I always tell them about the John Miller story. Remember, I did Jill's wedding, and you and I were watching. We were watching some video of it, and you were pointing out some things, and I said, yeah. And then you did something extremely Zen. You went ahead and you say that you forgot this, but you said your ceremony's too long. That was 35 minutes. You need to keep it under 20 minutes. And then you left. You didn't explain to me why we keep them under 20 minutes, because you wanted me to find out. And the reason being is because the weather around here where we're at is really very unpredictable. We don't know, as far as, even with the fall coming on, we don't know what the temperature or the weather is going to be like. So when we keep them under 20 minutes, then again, that we're able to get in the wedding outside. But those are some stories, John, that I tell all the time to brides.
When they need a little more power. I had a wedding once where it rained around all over. Everybody was there with umbrellas. It was an outdoor wedding, and it rained in a circle around me, not on me. You know, I did the whole wedding, and everybody's got their umbrella, and nobody had an umbrella for me, but I didn't get wet.
Well, isn't.
Well, you have to have,
boy, isn't. After all those years of meditation, I mean, come on.
You have to have the juice.
We're talking this evening with our music director from Summit Center for Spiritual Living, John Miller. If you would like to get a hold of John, how do they do so?
Yeswise.com. You can contact me there. You can read some blogs. You can hear some of my Easy Chair song videos.
Some really cool stuff. John, why don't you do us another song here?
All right. This is one of the ones I wrote for Summit Center over the many years that everyone seems to like, called Love is Our Power. There is a power that is real, providing life for everyone. Just like the flowers in the field, sharing the radiance of the sun. Love is our power, beautiful, strong, and kind. Loving is wisdom, a loving heart and mind. The power of love is always here, revealing truth, inspiring mind. The power of love releases fear, clearing the way for us to find. Love is our power, beautiful, strong, and kind. Loving is healing, a loving heart and mind. Let our loving shine. The time has come to love our freedom. We'll open our hearts and fully be. The light of love is always shining, so we can know that we are free. Love is our power, beautiful, strong, and kind. Loving is freedom, a loving heart and mind. Let our loving shine. Let our loving shine.
Boy, a half an hour has gone extremely quickly. My producer in the background saying you need to wrap it up. So if you'd like more information about John Miller and his music, go to yeswise.com, yeswise.com. You'll get more information about the wonderful things that John Miller does. And to say, John, I really, again, love and appreciate you over the years. Appreciate your friendship. Appreciate you putting up with me. Appreciate you taking me aside and saying, you know what, you really need to consider this.
We'll talk more later.
I call up John and I say, he says, can I help you? And then I said, well, John, I need lots of help. And he says, you do. All right. John Miller, again, thank you for being on the program today.
Thanks for having me. A really good time.
All right. Real good. All right. Time for us to go here. It's within 58 minutes. So where's my music? We'll get the music here in just a moment. Well, anyhow, again, thank you so very much for being with us here this evening on the Friday evening Fireside Chat. If you'd like more information, again, about our wonderful network, go on ntmedia.org, ntmedia.org. Please consider a generous donation because, again, that we believe that there is an abundance, and part of that abundance is us giving, being a part of that flow. So again, if you go to ntmedia.org/donate, the money that you give allows us to do all the wonderful things that we do, including do video at conferences around the country and also the world. We produce probably well over 25 hours of original programming every single week. And again, it's because of your loving donations. So again, go to donate at ntmedia.org. On behalf of myself and also the Summit Center for Spiritual Living Music Director, John Miller, I'm Michael Mangus, and I am wishing you a wonderful week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.